Story 1. I think my son is seeing the man that died on our property. My son tells me creepy stories all the time. He'll tell me that he met a boy playing at our house, built in early 1800s, alone with a name I've never heard that fell in with the pigs. We don't have pigs, but the farm did at some point, and he got really hurt, but then he was fine, and now he sees him around the property. He also sees a girl that was playing outside and had to lay down, but she didn't fall, and it was really, really cold, but she couldn't get up, and then she went to sleep and died, and her parents cried a lot, but then she came back, but they still cried because they couldn't see her. Okay, fine, but this is where it got me. When we moved in, he said, "There's a man in the driveway. I don't see anyone." He said he's right there. He's done this before at the last place, but this time he asked me to close the curtains, and that he's not nice. Today I asked him if he remembered the guy from the driveway that I couldn't see. He said, yes, I didn't like him, he was not nice. I asked him why he wasn't nice, and he said not nice things. I asked him to tell me more. He said it's not safe for mamas and doddas to drive anymore. That's what he was saying right there in the property with his car. I didn't like that. The crazy part is that there is a cross on my neighbor's land beside ours. A young man crashed his car into a metal arch that used to be cemented at the road, flipped and landed on their land. The bent arch remains on our property. BC, it's too big and heavy to move. But it sounds low the arch isn't all that's here with us. Asterisk, we never watch scary ghost stuff. BC, I don't like it. I've had dreams of people who have passed trying to speak to me since I was a kid, and try to suppress it, so I have not encouraged it. Story 2. Restless Souls. Haunted Morgue. I am currently alone working a night shift at a hospital morgue. I work as a cleaner, which means I've seen, smelt, and heard horrific things. I started a year ago, but strange things have only started recently. I want to document what's happened tonight. Firstly, the porters brought a recently deceased man down to be processed into the freezers. I did the paperwork and put him into the freezer until examination tomorrow. The freezers are empty apart from this man, as the funeral home collected the rest earlier. This is important. I sat down in my office, which overlooks the freezer drawers and examination table. I started playing chess until I look up and see the door to the freezer open. I went in and shut the door, creeped out, but thinking maybe didn't shut it properly. I sat down again and continued my game of chess. I won the game around 5 minutes later, so I looked up and the freezer door was open again. I knew I locked the door, so at this point I was very creeped out. I looked around the empty hallway to check no one was there, and as I thought it was just me and a dead body, or so I thought. I locked the door again and went back to the office. I was so uncomfortable being near the RAM, and felt like I was being stared at from the corners of the room. Suddenly a door crashed into the wall behind me like a rhino had just barraged into it. I could barely breathe from fear and grabbed for the radio to call security. I turned back to the room overlooking the examination table, and there was a woman's body on the table. I dropped the radio and screamed all the time, staring at a body that shouldn't have been there. Like I said earlier, there should be only one body here, the man's. After catching my breath, I radioed security, and they thought I was joking. About 5 minutes later, one security guard shows up confused as he looks at this body. The toe tag says died 1994 at Queen Royal Hospital. The year is 2016 in Drive Right Surgical Hospital. How is there a body from 22 years ago lying on the table? We called the police, but when we had our backs turned, the body disappeared from the table as quickly as it arrived. We both went into the room, but it was empty. I had this feeling of dread come over me as I checked the freezers. Bay 1 empty, bay 2 empty, bay 3 empty, bay 4 had clothes in. The man's clothes, but he was gone. I went to tell the security guard, but he wasn't there. I looked everywhere until I tried to radio him. The radio never had any batteries in. Who was the man who showed up? Where did he go? How did he make a dead radio work? All these questions, but no answers that will ever come. After tonight I'm never coming back. But whatever happened here tonight, it's attached itself to me. I feel more heavy, like I'm carrying someone on my back. I'm having thoughts that aren't mine. The end.